Please remain seated. The show will begin in 3, 2...
Like a Hellcat.
Hi, I'm FandomTraveller87.
Wanna hear a ghost story?
Hello, ghoul friends, and all those who are freaky chic. I'm FandomTraveller87, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic Spooktober, and I wish you all a wickedly cool Halloween this year. Please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all future juicy content. Please check out all my other videos as well. A lot of sweat, time, effort, energy goes into those video projects. And they're something that I'm very passionate about. And even if I just make a small positive impact in your life, just to bring a smile on your face, honestly, I feel as though I've accomplished something. And that is reward enough. I do not do these types of videos for money, nor do I do them for fame. I am merely here to entertain. And really, that's the purpose of my channel. And whatever I can do, big or small, to bring a little bit of joy in your life. Honestly, I feel as though I did accomplish something in some way. And I want you to all know that I love you all to the tomb and back. And I never thought that I would reconsider doing YouTube again, but after a bit of soul searching and a journey of self-discovery, I found that, well, if I really enjoy doing this, then that's really the biggest thing that matters to me. Aside from other things, of course, but YouTube is something that should be enjoyed. Shouldn't be something that is soul-crushing and debilitating both physically and emotionally and mentally. And sure, a lot of people do it for the money. And some people just do it just for fun. And I'm just one of those few thousand people with who at the current moment has a small amount of subs. But it's not the number of subs that I really care about that much. I care about the quality of my followers. I care that we all treat each other with dignity and respect. Alright, let's dive right back into the story, shall we? Let's do this. Okay, Sam, said Betsy firmly. I need you to just stay put, okay? I'm gonna go check to make sure that the floors in the kitchen are sturdy so we don't accidentally fall through. Alright? I won't be too long. What? Sam stammered out. You're not serious, are you? But Betsy, there's... Relax, Betsy responded, seemingly annoyed. What do you think's gonna happen? One of us is gonna just wake the neighbors, considering how restless they are? She joked teasingly, seeing as, well, she was referring to the dead people buried in the backyard. Just trust me, okay? Just cool it. I'll be right back, I promise. Uh-huh, Sam murmured. I really don't like this one bit. I wish I just stayed home or something. I'll be back 10 minutes tops, said Betsy Ann, turning on her flashlight. Why don't you take Calypso out into the cemetery to go search for clues? I'm sure something will turn up that will help us in our investigation. And what if I see something that tries to, I don't know, chew my face off? Asked Sam. Betsy hummed. Well, just do what you do best, Sam. Cry for help, hide in the corner, and shake until I get back, okay? Oh yeah, that's really, really encouraging, Betsy. Thank you, said Sam, sarcastically. I'm just supposed to just go with the flow, huh? Sometimes that's all that we can do, Sam, in the moment, replied Betsy patiently. Just wing it, all right? Anyway, see you on the other side, buddy, Betsy added, sending the boy a wink before confidently strutting inside the house and disappearing into the darkness. Ugh, Sam groaned. Ha ha, hilarious. I see what you did there, Betsy, he murmured under his breath, and then looking down at the dog. Okay, Cal, let's go sniff around and see if we can find anything useful. And then Sam thought of something. He reached into his bag and grabbed his spirit box, his electric voice phenomenon recorder. Sam had made it himself. He pulled out the antenna and turned the dial clockwise, tuning the device until he could get a good signal. As Sam and Calypso passed the very first row of tombstones, there was a loud static sound coming from the spirit box. Sam was speechless. He pressed the replay button and listened to what he caught on the voice recorder. A little girl singing? And then, just as the wind died down, he heard something ringing in his ear. Then something poked him in the back, and a voice whispered,
"What's the matter, Sam? Don't you want to play with
me? Sam shrieked, startled, and he stumbled forward as Calypso went into a pouncing stance and quickly wrapped the leash around his ankles. Fortunately, Sam didn't fall into the thorn bush, but he landed hard on his stomach and groaned in pain. And the dog, she got loose from the collar, and once the collar came off, the dog leaped in the direction of whatever or whomever made that noise. Whoever spoke and made their presence known. When Sam saw this, he was really, really starting to panic. Oh no, Betsy's not gonna like this, he said. What am I gonna do? Then he heard the voice again, but it was a little farther away this time, but he could still hear it. It didn't sound malevolent. Mischievous, perhaps, but not malicious.
It's been such a long time since I had someone to play a game with. You like hide and seek?
Who are you? Sam shouted. What do you want from me?
Hi, I'm Susie. Wanna be my friend?
No thanks, Sam muttered. What do you want, exactly? Can you please just let me go?
Maybe,
The voice chirped. A little girl about 10 years old emerged from the fog. She had black hair braided with pigtails, and she wore a pink dress and was holding a brown teddy bear. She had piercing hazel brown eyes and rosy cheeks and pale pink lips. She pointed at Sam in a rather stern yet playful sort of way.
You know you shouldn't be here. It's really not nice to be on somebody's property without permission.
What are you doing here, kid? Sam asked. Did you know the people who used to live here? Where did you come from? Sam, a part of him was skeptical. She couldn't have been what he thought she was. Could she? Susie slowly nodded.
Yes, my aunt and uncle.
She responded.
I used to come and play here all the time.
Sam was intrigued, but also a bit unnerved. What happened? He asked. Do you know? What do you know? Susie sighed softly.
I wish I could remember, but I don't know much. The last thing I remember is it was a Sunday evening, and Aunt Felicia was in the kitchen baking cookies, and my uncle was in his study. I don't know what he was doing in there, but I didn't bother to ask. I got bored waiting for dessert, so I snuck my way to the basement door. It was locked, but I had a key. And I remember unlocking the door and going down the stairs. And then I heard my uncle yelling at me, and my aunt, she sounded upset. And then all of a sudden, I felt something hit my head. It hurt real bad. And I didn't wake up after that. I tried, but I just couldn't wake up. I don't know why I'm here. I miss my mommy and daddy. I wish I was home with them. I'm sure that they miss me.
Before Sam could say anything else, Betsy Ann had hollered from the back porch. Sam! Sam, are you okay? Sam, are you out here? Betsy? Sam replied back in a panicked tone of voice. And as he turned back to look at the little girl was gone. Betsy had rushed over and helped untie his ankles. Well, where's Cal? Where's my dog, Sam? She asked, extremely worried. I don't know, Sam responded. Sam, please, Betsy Ann begged, sounding desperate. What happened? Sam snapped out of his shock. He explained the situation to Betsy, and Betsy was astounded. Really? You saw the ghost of a little girl who's related to the victims of this house? And she's possibly a murder victim who supposedly was killed by Mr. Kingswood? Betsy Ann rambled on. Yeah. Yeah, Sam responded, still trying to process what he just experienced. We need to help her too. I think obviously there is more than just two ghosts we're dealing with. I think there's more of them out here. And I think they need our help too. Sam, he was conflicted. He honestly wasn't sure what to think. But Betsy was determined. All right. I'm sorry that I took a little longer than expected, said Betsy. I'm going to we're gonna deal with this together, okay? Let's go find Tom. Sam and Betsy had then went through the screen door, straight into the kitchen. Shining their flashlights, they scanned the room, once again searching to see if they could find anything that they might have missed before. Then something mysteriously had rolled from underneath the old kitchen table. Sam stopped and looked down at his feet. It was an old metal cylinder container, which seemed to have something contained inside. The metal cylinder container also had a rusted lock on it. Betsy Ann came closer and examined the object. She said. I wonder where the key is. Well, at least we found our next clue, said Sam. I wonder where we should look first. That key could be anywhere in this house. Well, maybe it's best that you let me hold on to the container for a bit, Betsy Ann suggested. Just slide it into my bag, and I'll keep it safe. Sam nodded and did just that. Okay, why don't we check, the living room? Maybe the key is hidden somewhere in there. Sure, said Betsy. Let's go. Both kids searched the entire living room from top to bottom. They looked underneath and behind furniture, rummaged through drawers, and even lifted up paintings to see if there was any hidden compartments anywhere. Nothing over here, said Sam. I couldn't find anything either, said Betsy. Why don't we check the kitchen one more time? After searching the kitchen, they came up with nothing. Maybe the key is hidden in the master bedroom upstairs, Sam thought, out loud. Okay, I guess we can go there, said Betsy, a little apprehensive. Sam and Betsy slowly ascended the old grand staircase, and a cold chill ran down both their spines. Man, this place is just gives me the creeps, said Betsy. Yeah, me too, muttered Sam. They soon reached the portrait on the wall, the painting of Mr. Kingswood, his wife Alicia, and their son, Angus. You said you saw a blood stain on it, correct? Asked Betsy Ann. Yeah, said Sam. They inched closer to the portrait, and just as it should be, there was the blood stain, all dried up. Oh man. Well, let's continue on our search for that key, said Betsy. She was trembling like a leaf. I just wonder what happened to that baby, said Sam. Me too. You don't think that Mr. Kingswood would? I hope not, said Sam. He then walked over to the master bedroom door and slowly opened it. Come on, Betsy. Let's keep looking. They rummaged through drawers, looked underneath the bed. They even searched the closet. Any luck? He called to Betsy. Hold on. Betsy Ann nearly tripped over a loose floorboard. She then knelt down, and with both hands, and with all the strength that she could muster, she pulled off the loose floorboard, and reached her hand inside, and pulled out a gold skull key. Hey! Betsy exclaimed. I found it. Awesome, said Sam. Okay, let's open that container. Betsy then opened her backpack and took out the metal cylinder container. With the key, she turned the lock until she heard a click. And then the lock came off. And then she lifted the lid up, then pulling out what seemed to be a piece of parchment. What is that? Asked Sam. I don't know. Betsy Ann carefully unrolled the parchment paper. Is that a will or something? A deed to the house, Betsy stammered. Fascinating. Sure is, said Sam. What's it say? I, Felicia Kingswood, leave all my inheritance of over $5 million to my son Angus, my firstborn, and all of my estate and all other possessions to him. Whoa, over 5 million? Sam said, ecstatic. Are you serious? Well, that's what it says, said Betsy. I wonder why she didn't leave anything to her husband, though. Huh. Sam was like a little bit perplexed. I don't know. Why wouldn't she leave anything to her husband? And I thought that she didn't have hardly much money, especially not that much, said Betsy. I thought that she had gone through a bit of a financial crisis. And, well, her husband definitely wasn't happy about that. Betsy added on. I don't know why she would be holding out on her husband. Wasn't he the one that had the money to build this house? Or, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Why would she keep this will a secret? Asked Sam. This just gets a lot more interesting, said Betsy. Well, maybe the ghost of Mrs. Kingswood would be able to answer that for us. Betsy Ann then carefully rolls back up the parchment paper, slides it back into the metal cylinder container, and then relocks it before setting the object back into her bag to keep it safe. All right. Sam, I'm gonna need you to hold on to this key. Can I trust you with it? Betsy Ann asked. Yeah, sure. Sam stuck it inside of his jacket pocket and zipped it up. Okay, good. So now, let's go find Tom Foley and tell him about what we just discovered. My gut is telling me we need to go check out the basement, said Sam. That's where Susie was killed. Supposedly. Are you sure? Asked Betsy. Do you really think it's a good idea? Well, we came all this way, responded Sam. We need to solve this mystery. And honestly, we need to find Tom and make sure that he's okay. Okay. Hand me the crowbar, please, said Betsy. Sam reached into Betsy Ann's bag and handed her the crowbar. Then one by one, she pried off the planks and pushed her weight against the door until it had finally opened. All right. Shining their flashlights, they peered down the stairs that leads into a dark, pitch blackness. You want to go first? Betsy Ann asked Sam. Sam was reluctant, but he slowly nodded. Okay, you'll be right behind me this whole time, right? He asked her. Of course, pal. Just be careful, okay? Sam slowly made his way down the steps, shining his flashlight so that he could see. And the farther down that they both went, the air got colder and colder. Just a very, very bitter, harsh breeze brushing up against their bodies. And they could see their own breaths. They then soon got to the very last step and stood dead center in the middle of the basement, shining their flashlights around. And what they saw down there is something they both wish that they could forget. There were shelves lined with jars full of animal parts and a lot of odd stuff. Something that you would probably see in a horror movie or in an R.L. Stein's Goosebumps book. And there were also these strange looking plants. Some of them were just very... It was hard to describe. It definitely wasn't normal. Do you think this stuff belonged to Mr. Kingswood? Asked Sam. Knowing how bit of a nutjob he probably was, I can say that this probably was his property, Betsy Ann said. He could have been some sort of mad scientist or something, she added. Alright, well, do you think this is what Susie found? Possibly, Betsy Ann responded. Man. Then they heard a loud thud, as if something or someone hit the floor. Then came this loud groan. It sounded familiar. Mr. Foley? Both children called out, and a figure emerged from one of the shelves. It was Tom Foley, rubbing his head as though he got a bit of a bump on his noggin.
Kids, what are you doing down here?
We were worried about you, said Betsy. Are you okay? Honestly, we both have the same question to ask you. What are you doing down here in the basement?
Well, I was in one of the guest bedrooms searching for clues. And then the next thing I know, somebody or something hit me on the back of the head, and I ended up down here. I don't know who or what, but I was looking for Felicia's ghost. How long was I down here for?
Well, obviously the culprit had knocked you out, said Sam. We came to the basement door and it was all boarded up. It looks like him or they or somebody had trapped you down here. And there's no way you could have gotten out if it wasn't for us.
Well, I think we've overstayed our welcome with the spirits. Don't you agree? I think we need to leave now. I couldn't find anything, unfortunately, to help with the investigation, but I assume that it would be in our best interests if we just get out of here. We can always come back another time.
Then suddenly the ground began to quake, and all of them were staggering, trying to balance themselves, as then thunder and lightning struck outside the basement window, and a massive blizzard could be heard that came out of absolutely nowhere. And then a disembodied voice shook the entire room so loud it could have broken the sound barrier.
need to go. Now!
Tom Foley, Sam, and Betsy Ann waste no time. They rush up the basement steps, and as soon as they reach the main hall, all the doors in the house, including the kitchen cabinets, all begin to open and slam shut by themselves. The paintings on the walls begin to quiver and shake, and including the portrait of the Kingswood family, lifts off of the wall and floats down the grand staircase towards them. The painting is much more grotesque. All the faces, including Mr. Kingswood and Lady Felicia, all have silent screams etched on the canvas of where their faces are. And they all let out these ghostly bellows. And the baby from the portrait also begins to cry and makes the entire group literally just stand there. And they're all petrified and don't want to move. But Tom Foley practically forces them out the door, pushing them as they manage to finally get the front door open, and they all lunge onto the front lawn. And then they hear a dog barking. Cal? Calypso came running from what seemed to be the backyard of where the tombstones were at. Cal! Oh, thank God! Betsy Ann exclaimed. Thank God you're all right. She ran over to her dog and picked her up. Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
Now isn't the time for a lovely reunion.
Tom Foley hollered.
We need to go see your grandmother, Betsy Ann. We need to go there now.
Okay, guys, I'm going to leave this story here for now. Thank you so much for listening. I'm your host, FandomTraveller87, and stay tuned for the next part. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to show your support. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And please, check out all my other content. I love you all to the tomb and back. Have a wonderfully scary Spooktober and a fantastic Halloween. Until next time, bye-bye.